The Free State Knights were the first team to ever get relegated in the newly restructured South African domestic cricket setup. They only spent one season in Division 2 though, as they played their way back into Division 1. And one of the key players of the Knights last season in Division 2 was this guy. His name is Dian Forrester. And Dion Forrester was in the tongue and lips of every single person who follows domestic South African cricket. And there's a reason. This guy was scoring runs. This guy was taking wickets. He was doing it whether the ball was white or whether the ball was red. And in the white ball last season in the Division 2 one-day challenge, he was amongst the top 5 leading wicket takers and amongst the top 5 leading run scorers. So it's some serious stuff that he packs here. But the journey to get acclimatized into Division 1 was a little bit difficult for Dion Forrester. However, that might now have changed. In round 2 of the CSA One-Day Cup, the Knights took on the Warriors in Mangaung Oval in Bloemfontein. The Knights batted first, and Jacques Snyman, who scored a heroic 85 last week in their loss versus the Dragons, lost his wicket first. And it sparked a small collapse for the Knights as they found themselves on 56 for 4 after 19 overs. And this is where Patrick Botha enters the scene alongside Dion Forrester. These two play the Knights from a very tough situation, and they put on a 132-run stand for the 5th wicket. Patrick Botha eventually reaching his half century to back up a very good 40 that he played last week.
That's 50 for Patrick Botha. Well played 50 there. 50 of 72.
But unfortunately, he lost his wickets just as the Knights were starting to accelerate. Now, I want you to take a close look at Dion Forrester's numbers at the Patrick Botha wicket. He was on 75 runs with 81 deliveries faced. And so, with only 5 wickets remaining in 6 overs, the responsibility falls onto the shoulders of Forrester to take the game forward for the Knights and maximize the score. And guess what? He does just that. He reaches his first Division 1 century in a very tight situation.
And that is Dion Forrester's 100 as they look to take 2. And they get there. An excellent innings played by Dion Forrester here. Gets to 101. Standing ovations from his teammates. It's been a knock to remember.
Because it doesn't end here. Dion Forrester continues to take them apart. The last 10 balls of the game, he scores 26 runs in those last 10 balls to end up on 123, undefeated. And you remember when I told you about how it's so important that in these last 6 overs he faces the majority of the strike? From those 36 balls, he faced 24 of them. And from those 24 balls, he made 48 runs. He doubled his strike rate from the loss of Patrick Botha's wicket. He ran well to ensure that he preserves as much strike as possible, and he saw off the dangers of such as Bear Swanepoel.
And this time, it gets hit into the deep mid-wicket region, and it clears deep mid-wicket to end the innings with a 6. Dion Forrester ends his innings unbeaten on 123.
That helped the Knights set a score of 247 runs, and you would think that would be a good score, but they are facing the Warriors. The Warriors have this gent. This is Jordan Herman, and in the last game, he scored 148 runs versus the Dolphins, and he is amongst the top run scorers in the ongoing 4-day series. So this is no muck to play around with.
Oh, it's beautiful. Jacques Snyman, first ball up, pulls the middle stump out of the ground. It's a beauty. And it's the danger man, Jordan Herman, who has just scored 148 in the previous game.
Yeah, he was gone first ball. They got him first ball. Jacques Snyman just absolutely bowled a peach of a delivery, and this was backed up by sensational lines and lengths by Tiaan van Vuuren and Aaron Pangiso to just fuel the pressure towards the Warriors and to try to break them apart, because getting the wicket of Jordan Herman must have been a huge confidence booster into trying to win the game. Alas, Rain, Mother Nature, she had the final laugh, and she decided neither the Warrior nor the Knights are going to find out who is the strongest amongst the two. And so the game was tied as a draw, and they share the spoils of 2 points each. But fantastic work from Dian Forrester, a sensational innings. And if you don't know his name,